So, installing a expansion valve and a liquid line solenoid. You have an expansion valve here that is externally equalized. And you have your solenoid coil. And the solenoid coil comes on the inlet off the liquid line into the coil. And you always have an arrow on it, so you always want that going in the direction of flow of refrigerant when it's going into the expansion valve. So ultimately these are going to be connected together like so. And on this new evaporator, you have your distributor here with the two lines going in the evaporator, and then you have your externally equalized line that gets attached to our third port on the expansion valve. So this is going to go here, this goes here, and our solenoid goes here. Okay, we need to select our nozzle to go into our distributor. You prep your line by sanding it, reaming it out, and making sure that they're clear of obstructions, and always make sure your filings fall onto the floor. The evaporators always have a chart, and it will tell you what size of nozzle we need to use. This is a 0095 evaporator, and we're using R448A, so we're using the the L3/4 nozzle. This nozzle has a little retainer ring. So after you find your nozzle after dropping it, you take it and the retainer ring and you put it into the distributor with the size facing out. So it gets slid right back into there, all the way back, and then the retainer ring goes in to hold it into place. So you just move it all the way to the back, turn it flat, and slide it to where it's snug, holding that against so it doesn't rattle. Like so. And then your expansion valve goes on here, but you also have to configure it in such a way that it will accommodate your equalizing line, also your inlet here, to run out the back of the coil. So the valve is designed with 3/8 output and input. The expansion valve is designed for 3/8 input. So we're going to take the swedge off the output of the valve. So you just want to cut it right behind the swedge. And then you always want to ream out your line. And always make sure it's downhill so you don't get any burrs back in the valve that can affect the operation. Make sure the fitting is clean. And so that will slide right into the valve like so. And you can see the basic setup. We still need to get this line into our external equalizing port. So we need to route that back into there. So as we see here, this is a properly configured expansion valve and liquid line solenoid. So you're coming in the back where your liquid line will come straight in, far enough away from your suction line to make accommodations for our sensing bulb and our insulation on our suction line. And we made sure that we routed our tubing here so that nothing is touching or rubbing against each other. Everything has clearance. Everything is a nice sweeping bend. Nothing is kinked. And the panel will go on without touching anything. We can still access our service cap to adjust the expansion valve upon initial startup. And so that's about what you want to look at when configuring an installation of an expansion valve.